All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:31. It is February 10th. It is Monday. I hope everyone's feeling well. Not a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. I know a lot of people go out on the Super Bowl, have some fun, which is what you should be doing, right? Going to friends' places, eating a little bit too much, maybe drinking on a Sunday when you don't, and hopefully watch a good game. But wasn't the greatest game, right? But it is what it is. Congrats to Philly fans. Congrats to those who've been rooting and just had some fun. I love watching the players. Everyone's like, you see the size of these players and like the amount of skill and grit and desire. Like it's these guys have been doing 2 days since they're 4 or 5 years old, working towards their goals, blood, sweat, tears, doing what they got to do, and eating dozens of eggs, like 18 meals a day, like and then you get there, and just you reach your goals, and it's awesome. Listen, we all have goals, and um, got to figure out what you got to do to make them. I know for here, we're all trying to make a living trading. A lot of people approach the market a lot of different ways. This is the 6:30 club where I try and string it together for you guys every morning. Talk about what's moving the markets, what we have to look forward to for the week, what's driving things, what's the narrative. We've had a huge down open the past 2 weeks that have grinded all the way back into the end of the week. And this week, if you said, "Hey, I'm going to be flat, I'm going to go short into today," you're waking up and you're like, "Oh, what do I have to do here?" I will say it's been very choppy. It's a very specific tape. Not every stock is created equal. That's why we have a system and a process with our moving averages. All I know is I'm feeling pretty good. I did my 25-20 this morning. I tuned in with my dogs. For those of you who have been tuning into the 6:30 Club since 2020, what I would do is I would subscribe above, get all access. But for this, what we're going to do now is head into the charts. Okay, if you look here at the chart, pretty bearish engulfing candle. The last two led to big down moves. This one right here led to that Monday down move where we grinded all the way up into a reversal. Then another big gap down that grinded up into a reversal. And now today the SPYs are up 280. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're at 603.60. We're above 602.60 and below 606.60. So right here. So the question is, are we going to take back this entire candle, or are they going to reject price into the middle of it? So, does the early strength hold, and build? And if anyone's short, are they going to have them roll it up? Or are we going to, open up and then at some point in the morning start to fade? So we'll figure that out. At this point, this would be like kind of smack in the middle here. This would be like 604.55. So we'll see. Qs have been caught in this like choppy range. If you look here, again, you had your high at 539. It kind of got above a level, couldn't hold it on what's it called on Friday, and we closed pretty much on the lows. So we'll see what happens here. How much of this candle do they take back? Do we open up and make a high in the first 30 minutes? Because if you remember, the last 2 Mondays we've opened lower and we've made a low in the first 30 to 60 minutes, and you had really nice trading reversals. So for today, do they do the opposite? We'll see. The IWM came in a bunch, off of that, off of that 230 level, couldn't get through. And then on Friday, we broke below Thursday's low. What's the IWM doing this morning? The IWM is, up $1. So it's not really leading, but it's also, kind of participating. And then you just have a lot of divergences. If they call them like the Mag 7, the Lag 7. You have Meta and Netflix, which are best in breed. I get it. You could be buying dips. And then you have the other 5 of them, just range type setups. So I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people like, oh, I'm going to short this up open because of the holes in the charts. Like you look at Microsoft, look at that bear flag on top of a range with a huge hole. Microsoft is not special. So see if that opens up. Maybe people try and fade that for a quick cash flow trade. You look at Google, huge hole in the chart also, broke below a level, was really weak on Friday. So a lot of things did not close well on Friday. So now you look here, can maybe you reshort Google? For me, my strength is not just shorting strength, because I hate when they you open them up and then they grind them up until like 11 o'clock before rolling them over. I like when things open down, buy verse levels, stuff like that. But anyway, what I like and what the market does are two different things. We have the CPI and the PPI. The CPI and the PPI, which is going to be a focus. So I can almost see it happening. I can see how they're going to open them up. Some people are going to fade this up open and then, kind of get caught. And then midweek, the inflation numbers could be hot, and then that's not going to be good. And then, we had lower in the second part of the week, whereas the last 2 weeks we opened lower and then we grind it up. And, to me, I don't know what vehicles are going to be so strong that could sustain a move to all-time highs and then some. So again, Microsoft broken, Google broken, Amazon, closing the dead lows. Now it's up $1.50. So, will the open be fadeable? For me, that's a tough trade. I don't love to just short and up open, but this, again, it's up $1.50. This right here is what? This is this is this low here is what? This low is 232. So, if the sellers want to keep control of, like in Amazon post earnings, they don't let it get above 232. So I would map out resistance 1, resistance 2, and see if you could fade it. Let's see what my dogs are saying. I got 20 comments so far this morning. Let's see what's cooking here. You guys could watch the 630 Club on YouTube. You could watch it on Twitter. We share ideas. We figure it out. Good morning. How are we feeling about Amazon? You know what? I would just, to be honest, I wouldn't be buying this up open. I'm not. I have no position in Amazon. I'm probably going to watch it trade. It'll give me some clues though. If it opens up and goes red, Amazon again, just like some of the other Mag 7 names, it's going to need some time. Wow, gold is up bigly. Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of my friends who've been, they've been buying gold for a decade. If you're an asset allocator and you have an asset allocation plan, hopefully you're making really good money in gold, or it's been above the 821 day like any other momentum asset. What's up? Good morning, D. Shah. Good morning, MLD. Rise and grind. It is rise and grind. Glass, there were thousands and thousands of drunk idiots riding it's in the street. Okay, you know what? Some of them were celebrating. You can only be a drunk idiot every now and then. I haven't been one in a while, thank goodness. But again, just stay in control, right? Control what you can control anyway. So a lot of people are saying to me, what about Dash? Red Dog, you've been all over Dash. Dash has been your baby. We've been with you with Dash in the 630 Club, buying it, buying dips. Earnings are on Tuesday. It's had a huge run. I'm still long Dash. I don't have options on for earnings. I got to figure it out. I'll be honest. I didn't have a great options season. You have like trading season and then you have option earning season. A lot of names gave us really good pre-market or pre-earnings moves. I made really good money in a bunch of them. But then, if you took a call spread for Google, you lost. If you took a call spread for AMD, you lost. There wasn't that many great plays out there. Palantir was a great play. So anyway, but Palantir also, like you look at this topping tail from Friday. So another sell set up into the close. That this one's not getting any follow through. So the question is, are you going to fade and open today? Are you going to fade and open today? We shall see. For me, I probably won't. What's Palantir doing? Palantir is up $1.70, and the high is 116.30. So there is some room, but this type of open probably has a lot more traders, I think, a little bit on their back foot versus, excited that we're gapping up after the way we closed, on Friday. So we'll see. You want me to go back to Dash? So Dash, Dash, you have to really go to the weekly chart. In December, when I did my my 2025 report, I mentioned that Dash could at least get to 225 or more. So the question is, will it do it post earnings or not? To me, I like this. I think that we're going to see 225. I think at some point Dash this year will be above 250. It's just a matter of it's the first quarter. It just had a big move. Are they going to are they going to give you enough to cover an option play? We'll see. But how beautiful is that cup and handle? I hope that you've been playing this with me because I've had a long for the Alpha team. The Alpha team's been making money. I've talked about it so many times on the 630 Club, and now we're figuring it out. What's a mobile trader saying? Good morning is liquidation low. Some of the, and yeah, it's not perfect. Eagles dominated. Yes, they did. Um, uh, anyway, so we'll see. We'll see what today is. We'll see what today brings. Even like look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin IBIT closed in the lower end of this quadrant. So I know for me, I got out of my IBIT. I've been trying to use it as a swing trade, but when I see a candle close like this, that's below the 821 day. I'm just, my process says be light. So it's not like it's up a whole lot. It's up a 2%. I guess you could lower this like this. If the bears want to stay in control, they reject price at 57.05. A lot of charts just don't look great to me. So I wouldn't get too caught up buying this up open. Listen, I like to be actively bullish. I like to have a big portfolio approach on when things are good. But like even Tesla went from my best pre-election, post-election trade to in the last 2 weeks, I got burned a bunch of times, and I'm not in Tesla, and it's going to have to do a whole lot for me to change. Tesla was a great trade. It was above the 821 day. A lot of people made a ton of money with me. And then it changed right here. It gapped up, and then you could have been a buy versus the gap. It started to go sideways. I remember playing it through 360. Then you had a red dog reversal here, a lower high, and then just started getting faulty to the point where it closed on the dead lows almost on Friday, and even in a sea of red. Look at this, in a sea of red. I mean, a sea of green. I'm sorry, in a sea of green. SPYs are up 280 and Tesla's up 450. So is Tesla leading the market? No. Is it acting special? No. So do you need to be in Tesla as an active trader who trades for a living that wants to get paid in February? No. And if you're short, you're like, wow, maybe you have some good longs and some shorts, and Tesla's acted pretty poorly. What's the next area? Well, I guess the 100-day, 347-ish. Hold on. What is everyone saying here? Baba's been my best position. I remember when Baba went on my do not trade list, and then all of a sudden it became like my number one scenario. I have 3 different options on. You look at the weekly chart of Baba. It tells a little bit more of a story here. 319 all the way down. It's been going sideways for a long time, and finally really started to wake up. Baba's been my best play. I have 3 different options plays. Thank goodness for for Baba. It's and even though Baba also had a bad, didn't look great. To be honest, I thought I'd have some more time to get in it. That he just had a big move from from this is when we started buying Baba. We had some options on for power plays. If you were in power plays with Baba, you've made a lot of money. I think we made 400%. We didn't even have earnings. But anyway, Baba was great. Mobile traders this February so far has been tough for me. Lost, but manageable. Same thing with me. I'm off my highs. I was like 2 weeks ago, I was on my highs of 2025, my career highs, and then things got a little, touch and go. Tesla started to get a little predatory where it closed well and then didn't let you out. You had a few, unfortunate situations with some of the small ones, and it is what it is. But again, there are 200 and some trading days in a year. There are 12 months. I typically make my money within 3 of the 12 months when you're in a great active sequence where you could buy dips, where you could play them higher, and you can manage them really well. And there is stuff. NVIDIA right now, it just goes to show so NVIDIA was one of the strongest names, okay, on Friday, closed really well. Look how NVIDIA closed on Friday. Well, just say the Qs closed pretty much on the lows. So using relative strength rules, obviously we know this whole deep seek thinking, blah, blah, blah. So if you took NVIDIA home, which made a little sense, if you're like, hey, what if we're up? Why don't we take a strong stock? NVIDIA is down 38 cents. It's not the end of the world, but it's just like, really? There's a lot of really? That's what's been going on this year, a little bit of did that really just happen? It's good though. It is what it is. It builds, a callus. You can't always have great trading. You can't always be, high-fiving. Can't be the Eagles, dominating KC every Super Bowl. Sometimes it's close. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we work on the mind. That's why we try and keep our process strong. I've been doing my morning routine for 20 years. A lot of people were like, Red Dog, we want to do the morning routine with you. Besides the X's and O's in the 630 Club, we want to get our mind right so we can last for 10, 20 years in trading, or 30 years like you. A lot of kids who are 25, 35. What you should do is subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset. The button's right up top on Twitter. It's going to be doing a lot of my weekend feeding the brain in the subscribe button. So it's, the price is not even a cup of coffee. So if you've been finding value from the 630 Club for 5 years, and there's like 5,000 to 10,000 people that watch it a day for free, you know what I would say, you could learn a lot from Red Dog Mindset to execute on the X's and O's, because a lot of people get in ruts. A lot of people, don't have the right tier system or the right process to sustain a career. And that's what I want to help all of you guys do, is sustain your career. Future Ready says, if you bought the close Friday, you were selling the open, thus the fade works. True. There you go. Someone said Baidu. They want me to look at Baidu. What's Baidu been doing? Baidu looks like it's been pretty choppy, but we'll see how that looks. I know that I tried playing Baidu a bunch of times. I didn't really focus on it, back here. What's Baidu doing this morning? Baidu is, it's up 280, 91.97. So it is participating. I guess you got to really look at the weekly chart of Baidu and say, hey, this has been going sideways for quite some time. It's almost like how many Chinese names do you want? Most of the guys from my community are just in Baba. It's hard, or FXI, or this Tigers, who's been pretty good too. Look at this Tiger Financial, TIGR. This is a lot of volume, looks pretty tight. There's some room here on TIGR. So I would say, like, if you're going to really try and rotate and get involved with the Chinese names, stick with Baba. Baidu is quality, and pick one more. Don't just start losing track and become like a Chinese equity trader. You want to go? There are some of the robotic names that have been looking a lot better. So BBAI, a lot of people are, look at that move. Wow. I think there was a short report on this one, but oh my goodness gracious. So let's take a look at what that's doing this morning. Are some of these robotic names getting any follow through? Up 47 cents. Okay. What a move though. I'm in this ARBE, which hasn't really had a huge move yet. But I do think that something's cooking here. It's an Israeli company. They have done stuff with NVIDIA. We traded this really well up into the fives. I started buying a bunch of this versus the 260 area. I do think you could accumulate this ARBE for another move, to the upside. Some people are in ASTS. What a move there, right? They had to get you out and come right back up into this, this upper area. Some think this is going to be like $100 stock. All I know is I didn't have a lot of success here. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like this whole channel has been very, very tricky, considering you had a fluid move, and then every time it looked good, it kind of failed, and every time, when it just looked like it was going to break apart, I was caught in that money raise. Now I would think, let this go sideways, and at some point it potentially could break above this area. CWeb is a good Chinese ETF. That's true. BYD, yeah, that makes sense. What would you go with, KWeb or FXI? They're both the same. I think FXI is a little broader, FXI. But again, this is more like what I told people to start the year. I'm like, if you want to have Chinese exposure, just buy the FXI every single month. Put that in your asset allocation. So if you have equities, you have bonds, you have gold, you have crypto. If you want Chinese exposure, buy the FXI. And that I do think the FXI, I think the FXI is going to be up more than the S&P in 2025, but that's just my thought process. It's lagged for 3 years. So the S&P was up 20-something% the last 2 years. I think we'd be lucky if the S&P is up or down 10% this year, while other things play some catch up. But that's my thought process. A lot of people like this TEM. I'm long TEM. Looks to me like it's a great looking chart. Gets above 71.25, then you have 77. It's a somewhat of a new name. So I would keep this on the radar also. I know Nancy came out and there was like a big disclosure on how much she had of it. So people got very excited because Fancy Nancy's been a great investor over the years. Seems like she knows a little bit more than most people. I guess that's what happens on Washington. Let's hope that changes. Anyway, with that being said, Palantir more so explain. Palantir to me, I would just be a little careful. I wouldn't be buying this up open. I do know some big money guys went out short saying, hey, Red Dog, look how extended it is from the earnings gap. Look at this topping tail. I get it. So if you're a good short and you're looking for cash flow, look for a divergence. What's a divergence? It means the SPYs go up, the Qs go up. Look at Tesla down 5, by the way. And all of a sudden, it doesn't go up. And then you play it to go from green to red. And then, but if it doesn't, and if it opens up and stays there, 116.30 could be your out. But again, this is a Q trade. Most money in PLTR has been to the upside. This stock has changed people's lives. Every few years, you find 1 or 2 names that started active sequence and continue and change lives. Palantir was one of them in the past 2 years. Even Reddit, believe it or not. Reddit, we've been all over. This stock has changed people's lives as an investor. And I really think this dash is going to continue. And you're going to see at some point, if I don't know if it's going to be this earnings report, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with options, but I would think at some point within the next year, dash is going to be well above 250, and this accumulation by all these institutions, and traders will pay off. All right, guys, listen, it's 6:53. If you're feeling a little lethargic, the way to burn that off is a little morning exercise. If you're feeling a little flat-footed today coming in, it happens. There were a lot of faulty-ish, bearish candles coming in. If you're net short, add a little bit, try and trade around it. If you're flat-footed, meaning you not have a lot of longs on, just wait. Make sure that the up move is sustained. The last thing you want to do is work yourself into a position, within an hour, and then all of a sudden 11:30 we fade, and then you're underwater, and you're like, what do I do now? So just take a deep breath. It's only February 10th. You have a lot of year left. It's only a Monday. And the Super Bowl is behind you, and there's going to be a lot of trading ahead. So if you're not being rewarded coming in this morning, you really didn't do the wrong thing. All right, guys. Good luck. Have a great day. I'm going to go do my 40 charts for the Alpha team. I'm going to go do my note for everyone that subscribes to Red Dog Access. And if you want to go with Red Dog Mindset and with the subscribe button above, it's the cheapest product that I have, and I think it could be the most influential for your mind and keep you in this business longer than anything else. If you ever read Trading in the Zone, you know what I mean. All right, guys. Good luck.